Hello guys, welcome to another video. Rimuru x Eminence in Shadow by elite3532. Chapter 5. Third POV years have passed. Now Sid was finally leaving the familial mansion for his school life. He isn't an outstanding individual like Claire or Rimuru, so he didn't have as much attention as his siblings, so he had a rather quiet school life ahead of him. Over the years, he has continued to build up resource for his upcoming entrance as the Eminence in Shadow. As for Claire, she is in her last year of school, being praised as a prodigy. People had great expectations for her, maybe even higher than Rimuru since they couldn't get the older brother. Everyone wanted to get the sister who is also a genius, hoping that she would follow her brother's step. Lastly, Rimuru, he hasn't done much during an entire year, researching and studying magic at the mansion, but now, after some turn of events, he became a sort of teacher at the academy. This was fine with him as the new students were promising, among them Rose Oriana, Alexia Midgar and his own brother. Claire is also there, and where is a better place for studying than the academy? Rimuru also kept close tie with Beatrix and shared intel, though he hasn't been able to reach Alpha. Right now, Rimuru was in the teacher lounge rearranging his documents and paperwork. He is a practical teacher but still has that kind of duty. This also served as rapport for future reference. Rimuru ignored the stare he was getting. After all, he had grown up, now 21, and finished his growth. A tall and handsome man who quickly became the talk of the academy among the female population. Though no one managed to squeeze his heart, he was just minding his own business while looking for a promising spellswordman for the kingdom to recruit. It was until he was approached by another teacher. Zenan, a blonde-haired instructor in swordsmanship, came and started the discussion. Zenan. Good day, isn't it, Rimuru-sensei? Rimuru. Who are you? Zenan. Oh, it's my bad, my name is Zenan Griffey, a fellow instructor. He wore a gentle smile and appeared overly friendly. Rimuru. Zenan. Oh, so you're Alexia's fiancé. Eyeing him, Rimuru remembered how Alexia started complaining after being forced to have a fiancé. Zenan is a swordsman who had participated in multiple tournaments, pretty famous for his technique. He was also called a wonder child back in the day. Ultimately, he managed to climb to the position of swordsmanship instructor here at the most prestigious academy of the kingdom. Zenan. Indeed, it's an honor to meet a genius like you. Rimuru. I see, if you have nothing else to say, I'll take my leave. Getting up, Rimuru stacked his paper up and left the room, totally ignoring instructor Zenan, whose expression darkened. Rimuru was now on his way to his next class. He had to teach the intermediate, so none of his acquaintances were present. At the same time, Sid managed to make two friends, rather NPC-rated friends. After some turn of events, he was now in front of the second princess, Alexia Midgar. Ready to confess his utmost love toward her. Sid, I love you, please go out with me. Bowing his body 90 degrees, he executed one of his mob plans, the rejection by the popular girl. Smirking as everything went as planned, Sid quietly waited for the hurtful rejection until Alexia. Okay, sure. To everyone present's surprise, Alexia agreed. The cold princess that has a record for breaking hearts agreed. Sid. Pascal. What? Screaming. That day Sid gained a girlfriend. Alexia. Well, unlike his brother, this guy isn't that good, but it should be useful to push Zenan away for now. Sid Pav, though, did it end up like that? I should be a mob, not the boyfriend of the princess. I need to figure out something, because right now, my plan is getting folded. I am currently walking through a corridor, all eyes on me, or rather on the girl clinging to my arm. Alexia has been doing that since the confession yesterday. I have to find a way to break up, but I can't be the one to. If a mob broke up with the princess, I would gain way too much attention. Alexia. So Sid, tell me more about yourself. Talking in a sweet voice, I got my two mob companions glaring right at me, as if they tried to pierce my skull. Sid. I am Alexia. Anyway, my personal training, so can you accompany me? Sid. This bitch. She purposely cutted me. I heard from my brother that Alexia is a cold woman. What is she doing then accepting this crappy confession? Alexia. So? Sid. Sure. I shouldn't have accepted, because I didn't take into account that her personal training is under Rimuru. This guy is a menace for my mob life. His training is hell and he is way too attentive. Third POV standing in a training room, Rimuru was surprised to see Alexia come with his little brother. In years, Sid did his best to avoid training with his older brother, and this was noticed by Rimuru, who decided to leave him alone. He still cared about him though. This is why Rimuru was surprised to see Sid here. Rimuru. Oh, is Sid finally interested in training with his brother? Sid. Why yes. But something attracted Rimuru's eyes. His stare shifted from his brother to his arm. Or rather the close connection of Alexia and Sid interlocked arms. Rimuru. Huh? Alexia? Oh, you still haven't heard the great news, me and Sid are dating? Rimuru. Ah. Alexia was smiling sweetly, which confused Rimuru even more. He never expected those two to connect like that. But then Rimuru connected the dots, his previous meeting with Zenan, Alexia's fiancé. This sudden news of her dating with her little brother. Rimuru also knew the personality of Alexia. Rimuru. I see, you shouldn't use someone like that, Alexia. Alexia. What do you mean, Rimuru? Don't act innocent now. Quickly tapping her head, Rimuru separated the two. Alexia. Itai. Sid. EHWH. What is H happening? Rimuru. Ah, how to explain? Sitting down, Rimuru sighed and started to narrate. Basically Sid is getting used by Alexia so she can get away from an unwanted marriage. Sid. So what should I do now? Rimuru. You don't really love Alexia, do you? Alexia. Naturally he won't, and beside me neither. Saving Sid from explaining and blowing up his cover, Alexia showed her true face. A cold woman who looked down on others. Around the likes of Claire and Rimuru, she is more passive, but in all those years she had never really changed this attitude. Sid. What? Alexia. I mean, I don't want to insult Rimuru-senpai's little brother, but you look plain and the rest about you is quite mediocre. She spoke, forgetting that Rimuru was actually here. The older brother sighed once again and got up, hitting the girl's head with a chop. Rimuru. Don't be mean, Alexia. Alexia. Sorry. Rimuru. Anyway, I can't let my little brother be in a relationship like that. At this point, Sid was looking at Rimuru with sparkling eyes. Like he was a savior who descended from heaven to help him. Rimuru. But breaking up so suddenly would raise way too much chaos. So little bro sticks up with the act for a while. Sid. And Jusser, like a rock falling on him, Sid was hit by the harsh reality. He looked over Alexia, who was smiling proudly. Sid. Do I really have to? Rimuru. It's for the best, so just wait a few weeks and break up. Is that fine with you, Alexia? Alexia. Naturally. Sid. Wait, I still haven't accepted. Finally deciding to stand his ground, the rumors of them breaking up would surely stay around for a few days, so he would rather break up the couple now. Alexia. Oh, do you have any objections? Sid. Yes, I don't see any benefit for me in this. Alexia. Benefit, huh? Smirking, the princess came prepared. She shamelessly took out a gold coin from her skirt and played with it around her finger. This immediately catched Sid's attention, who was now seriously interested in this relation. Rimuru. Are they really serious? Alexia. I'll reward you warmly if you follow what I say, okay pooch? Rimuru. Even the dog name. Is she? Actually, what am I seeing? Sid. Hey, do you really think you can buy me? Alexia. Yes. Confident, this time she spread her arm and let a rain of gold coins fall onto the ground. Sid. I see. I accept. The boy was already on the ground gathering the dispersed coins. Rimuru deadpan seeing this and just resumed to training. His only thought was to forget what he just saw. And not mention it to Claire, or she might go on a princess hunt. A few days later, nothing worthy of attention happened. Sid met Zenan and kind of angered him after Alexia pulled a stunt. But now, something was happening in front of the most prestigious academy of the kingdom. Sid was going to school like always, but before he could take a step inside the school compound, a dozen guards surrounded him. Guard. Sid Kaganu, you are under arrest. Sid. What now? Looking around, Sid sighed and just complied, getting on his knee before the guard jumped and seized him. That morning Sid Kaganu was arrested for being one of the major suspects of Princess Alexia's disappearance. At the moment inside Iris's office, the first princess was being confronted by Claire Kaganu. The girl had to be restrained by two guards as she was being forceful. Claire. Please, there is no way my little brother would have done that. Iris. I'm sorry, but he was the last person seen with her. He is one of the primary suspects. Claire. As I said, there is no way. Freaking out, Claire started to defend herself against the restraints. The two guards were struggling, not believing that a mere student was that strong physically. As for Iris, she wasn't happy. Her sister disappeared and right now the main suspect is her friend's brother. Speaking about a friend. The door burst open as the one reaction Iris feared entered. Rimuru Kagenu was there and judging from his expression, he wasn't happy at all. Iris. Rimuru. The guards tried to restrain him but a single was enough to paralyze them. Everyone present were able to witness a sort of rainbow-colored aura around Rimuru. Iris. That's Mana? Rimuru. Iris, you don't seriously think Sid is the culprit, right? Iris. She didn't know how to respond. Rimuru isn't in the right state of mind. She could understand the Kagenu siblings' reaction. If Alexia was accused, she might also snap. And right now, the last thing she wants is to make an enemy out of Rimuru. Iris. He is just a suspect as we have no other clue. Rimuru. I see. Turning around, Iris let out a confused expression. She thought he was going to try convincing her or worse forcing Sid out. Iris. Won't you try to save Sid? Rimuru. You are my friend, Alexia is my student and Sid my brother. I trust all of you so I don't want to start a fight here. Claire. But Ni-san, Sid is currently arrested. Rimuru. I know Claire, this is why I will find the culprit myself. Turning his face toward them, Iris and Claire shivered as Rimuru's eyes momentarily turned red. A pure bloody red similar to Ms. Kagenu and Claire's eyes. A special trait of the Kagenu family, when guided by emotion the crimson ruby color takes over their eyes. Claire was born with it and right now Rimuru awakened this trait under the influence of anger. Iris. Rimuru. There is no need of apologizing now, it's also time for me to take action. It was his last words before he left. His investigation started. He will find Alexia and end this all mess by himself. Claire, after recovering from her shock, quickly ran out following her older brother. As for Iris, she stared at the door, her body not daring to move. She had never seen Rimuru like that before. She then fell back on her chair and restarted her investigation. She also didn't believe that Sid was capable of such a thing. For one, he is known as the failure who came after two genius siblings. His fighting prowess shouldn't be enough to beat Alexia. Second is that Sid is a Kagenu and Rimuru's little brother. Iris can't picture a member of such a family kidnapping a princess. Iris. TCH, guard, go and free the student Sid Kagenu. Put him in temporary freedom. Finally giving her order, Iris decided to intensify the research. On the other side, after getting out of a torture session, Sid managed to get back to his room. Once there, he was met with Alpha, her first appearance in front of him in years. Alpha. Seriously, I just came back and found you getting tortured by some knights. Sid. Well, there is nothing much to say about it. Taking his shadow persona, Sid was overall less expressive. He put back his vest and sat on his bed a little annoyed. Alpha. Anyway, about Alexia Midgar's disappearance. Sid. It's a kidnapping, right? The perfect setup for one. Alpha. Yes, as expected you already knew. Noticing a few sandwich on the table in front of him, Sid while talking decided to eat them. Not knowing that those actually belonged to Alpha. Alpha. Anyway, we already set up our troop. Delta should be starting the operation soon. As for you. Sid. I will do my part as well. Alpha. Very well. Beta should be soon here to report the situation. Getting up, Alpha gracefully went to the window setting a foot on the edge. Alpha. Also, those were sandwiches I kept for later. You ate all of them so be sure to pay me back later. Smiling, Alpha left the room in a fashion way worthy of an eminence in shadow. Sid. MMMH good job Alpha. This entry and exit were good, 810. Smiling, now he was going on with his next plan. He got up and went to some hidden place of his student room. There he had hidden some expensive articles such as a costly wine, a rare painting and more. He smirked while setting them in the room. Waiting for Beta to come, and when she finally did, the silver-haired elf was stunned by this beautiful sight. Beta. Shadow-sama is so charismatic. She looked at him, sat in a chair while holding an expensive glass of wine. The painting and other accessories just made Shadow shine in this cold room. Beta. He has all this wealth and power, yet he stays so humble. Complimenting him, she soon recomposed herself and explained the situation and the plan set by Alpha. Sid. I see. Beta. Then Sid. Wait Beta, contact Delta and tell her everyone to delay the starting. Beta. Why, if I may, Sid. It's simple, my dear Beta. Playing with the glass of wine, Shadow's eyes shone. The light of the moon was dominating as the night already came. The perfect time for the lurking shadow to move. Sid, this prelude shall be mine to start.